Americans losing their religion. There's a new poll from Pew showing the country moving away from Christianity, with many folks turning their backs on organized religion altogether. Get this now, 70% identify themselves as Christian in the latest Pew poll. That's down 8 points in about 7 years. This while Americans with no religious affiliation jumped about 7% to nearly a quarter of the population. Bill O'Reilly was talking about this last night, talking about the widespread assault he believes on Christian beliefs.
But if a political candidate is pro-life, skeptical of climate change, against gay marriage, or calling for welfare reform, that person is brutally assaulted, branded a bigot, anti-woman, anti-gay, against the poor. And this image stays with them because the news and entertainment industry is simpatico, generally speaking, with the uber-liberal thought.
So that from last night. Now today, Tom Sullivan, host of the Tom Sullivan Radio Show on Fox News Radio, and Leslie Marshall, Fox News contributor and syndicated radio talk show host. Good morning to both of you. Just look at these numbers dropping 7 points sorry, it was 8 points in 7 years, Tom. What's going on here?
Well, this goes back a long time. It didn't happen overnight, even though those numbers are from 2007. I think it goes back to when I was a kid in college and we were anti-establishment, if you will. And ever since, and I think it started with the fact a lot of people in this country, starting in the 70s, starting not trusting government, not trusting big corporations, not trusting big religion. And we're not even trusting our own political parties. People are leaving the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, becoming independent. So there's a lot of just independent thought and a lot of trust that is lacking that used to be there back in the Ozzie and Barrett days.
That's interesting. That could be, and I know you're going to talk about this on your program today. Leslie, what do you think is going on here? What's at work?
I think this will be the first, but I agree somewhat with Tom about people not wanting to align themselves with some type of a group. And I think even more so, even though we don't have specific numbers on this with the Pew poll, I think more and more people are saying, look, we like that line that divides and separates church from state. We don't want our religion, whether it's Christianity or any other, to be part of a political agenda. So I think the more that religion is aligned with a political agenda, the larger the numbers that we see people who refer to themselves as maybe a Christian, but not wanting to align with one specific congregation within Christianity.
Did you see hang on one second, Tom. Did you see the Jeb Bush interview? I mean, he was kind of asked about this, and this is what he told Megyn. Give this a listen.
They feed the hungry. They take care of the homeless. They protect people. They love people. That's the beauty of our heritage and our faith. I was deeply troubled by Hillary's statement that somehow, you know, you just have to put your faith and your convictions in some lockbox, I guess, and not be able to act on them.
What he said right before that, Tom, in this incredible country of ours, we need enough space for people to be able to act on their faith, giving the impression that those who want to act on their faith are being crowded out. Now, why is that happening?
Well, listen, Bill, it's one of those things. I don't think people have lost their values, but what's happened is the government has said, let us do it. Let us provide the safety nets. Let us provide the social programs. Let us provide everything. And a lot of people sat back and said, okay, you take it. I used to give to charity, or I used to take care of the poor, give time at the food bank or whatever it is, and they're now saying, I'll let the government do it. They're the ones who are jumping into all the social welfare programs.
Well, instead of the church. Leslie, you agree with that?
No, I don't. Actually, the listeners to my program, and not all liberals, they feel there's a lot of judgmental attitude coming out of religion and out of the religious. They also feel that there are a lot of people that have forgotten the core of Christianity, which is to feed the poor, which is to care for others, much like Gandhi, who could not find Christ among them. That's what I'm hearing. Those are the sentiments being echoed that I'm hearing on my radio show.
But perhaps they're not drawn to religion anyway.
Sorry, Bill?
But perhaps they are not the ones who are drawn to the church anyway, Leslie.
Well, listen, Leslie says...
I think some are. I think some are. Hey, look, I got to say for myself, some of it's been a turnoff. When I sit in a church and I hear politics in the pulpit, I want to get out of there. I'm there for my spiritual renewal every week, not for somebody to tell me who or who not to vote for.
Can't disagree with that. Tom, quickly, the evangelicals are still holding strong, and so too are black Protestant churches. Neither of those groups seem to move much. In the meantime, Massachusetts is down 10 points by Catholics. South Carolina is down the same degree on evangelicals specific to that state.
It goes back. I agree with Leslie on the fact my audience is saying the same exact thing. They don't want to hear politics being preached from the pulpit. They want to have their souls saved when they go to church, and that's a problem that churches have to address themselves. But I still think it's much more complex. The family is not the same family that we've had before. A lot of dads are missing, and not. We talk about the black community, a lot of dads missing there, but the black community has more center of their social activity around their churches, and I think that's still strong. And I don't think any of us have lost our values. We just don't want to be preached to about politics in the pulpit. So I'm with Leslie on that.
All right, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
Thanks to both of you.